We need to have a heart-to-heart. I recently picked up the Ruinous Effigy from the Monument to Lost Lights, and I realized I've been missing out my entire life. I love this gun. In case you didn't know, the Ruinous Effigy is a void trace rifle that was introduced back in Season of the Arrivals and is truly one of a kind. So as long as you guys are okay with it, I think we should go over its perks and stats, then take a look at its performance in PvE and PvP. Let's see what this trace rifle can do. The perk that makes Ruinous Effigy my favorite gun in Destiny right now is Transmutation, because it makes Final Blows' weapon collapse these victims into void transmutation spheres. Huh? What? Yeah, you heard me right. Your enemy is now a ball. Now what do you do with said ball? Well, the perk evolution explains it to us. Transmutation spheres that you create can be picked up and wielded as weapons by you or your allies. You can beat your enemy with it like a normal pickup, you can heavy attack them for a large high damage single use suppressing attack, and you can even block with it to gain damage resistance, heal, damage nearby allies, and suppress them. Why is no one using this weapon, dude? Maybe it's because of the stats. As you can see on this, who the fuck cares, man? Range doesn't matter, stability doesn't matter, none of it matters, because it's a laser. Just point at your enemy and shoot. But it does have a range of 31 meters in both game modes, which is still pretty good. And then we have the Catalyst Deconstruction. So this weapon will deal increased damage against targets damaged by your transmutation spheres, which is honestly pretty tight because I love balls so much. Okay, that does it all for the stats. Let's take a look at its PvE performance. My use of trace rifles has severely decreased ever since they reduced double special ammo drops. So using this weapon for the first time blew my mind. This is truly a, dare I say it, exotic gun. The laser alone already hits hard enough, completely deleting red bars in less than a second, but the add clear magic really kicks in when you proc volatile. Since it is a laser, you can completely cover the entire battlefield with volatile explosions in seconds, making this one of the best add clear options in the game, which honestly makes sense because it is an exotic special, but hey, I don't care because he's exotic and special to me. The laser really is special, but there's no reason to talk about that too much, so let's talk about what really matters. And that's balls. You can use these orbs to do big damage to big enemies because they hit hard, like 100k damage per heavy attack hard. And then your laser will do increased damage to every single enemy you hit with your ball. Or you can just use this orb to get some decent healing and reduce your damage taken. Or you can just beat the fuck out of all of your enemies with basic attacks, but that's kind of boring, so just slam dunk this thing every time. If I was reviewing this gun strictly off of its performance by itself, it wouldn't be that good. But because of its combos, you can have just a meh void build, and it'll be just enough to make this a top tier gun. With this build you're watching, I'm fully committed to running a void build, so I have volatile rounds, devour, and a weaken. So to put it in layman's terms, you're going to be blowing up your enemy constantly, while also healing, and then you'll also be debuffing on top of all of that. I'm going to have to make a build review with this gun as soon as possible, because it is insanely fun and equally as good. Really quick, I didn't want to miss the fact that seasonal mods this season pair really well into this gun. Just get void elemental orbs, monochromatic maestro, and elemental munition, so you always have some orbs. And then this now means that your transmutation orbs will weaken your enemy with tons of damage, or you'll get an elemental orb, which will give you the chance at more ammo and more damage. And then your kills with your transmutation orbs actually spawn void orb, so it's kind of sick. And all around it's a win-win because you just get a ton of balls or spheres or whatever you want to call them. But overall in PvE, the Ruinous Effigy is an amazing time that has great ad clear and will do a pretty good job at killing bigger enemies if you have some balls to slam. Now let's take a look at its PvP performance. I was already extremely happy with this gun's ability to be great in PvE. So in PvP, I didn't expect it to even be slightly good, but I was actually in awe that it wasn't total garbage. Like we talked about earlier, it has a range just over 30 meters, putting it at a sweet spot near the same range as auto rifles. But the time to kill is where the story gets a little weird. The TTK at the absolute quickest is a .73, which is just faster than a base immortal, but you would need to hit 12 consecutive headshots with the laser to get that to happen. So a more realistic TTK is between 0.85 and 0.93, making it a fairly quick speed, but you really gotta focus on that laser. But hey, balls again. Balls save the day. If you're lucky enough or good enough to get a kill with this laser, you'll be granted one of our Balls of Doom, which in PvP is like a baby super. It's a one-hit melee kill when you heavy slam, and it explodes in a massive AoE, giving you the chance to kill multiple enemies. And every time I get a kill like that, I can just picture the opposing guardians when they run around the corner, and then they just get their cheeks dunked on by my balls. And then you have the guard attack that reduces your damage taken pretty significantly, and it will drain your enemies while also suppressing them, allowing for you to either get in melee range or just to be an annoying asshole and take away other guardians' fun. I really am at a loss for words. Why haven't I been using this? Sure, it's not the most OP gun ever, but do we always need to use the meta? Let's have fun every now and again, guys. And I'm sure, as you can see in the background footage, I'm not really popping off or anything, but you can almost tell every time I get an orb kill, I just lose it. And I mean, that's all I should have to say for you guys to bend over backwards to use this gun, man. In PvE, it's hard to rate because there's no Wish Endear or Osteo in terms of pure domination, but it's a really fun gun. So we're going to go with a 4.25 balls out of 5. And in PvP, it's more of a meme pick that I think skilled players can do good with regardless. So it's going to get like a 3.75. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot about my favorite part about the orbs. It's when your teammates pick them up and they haven't played with many Ruinous Effigy enjoyers, so they have no idea how to use these balls. So they either just keep slamming them into nothing or just meleeing nothing. But the second they find out how to slam them into a group of enemies, they start having the time of their lives too. It's just so beautiful. See ya!